Hello everyone, I'm bringing to you a little game that's called Daggerhood. Before I hop into it, I want to kind of preface that this is actually just one of 4 different ways of playing through the game. We've set up a any percent route, a all fairies route, which both of those were the bid wars, a all treasures, and a 100% route. Needless to say, the latter two no one's really done much with. I wouldn't know why, but I mean. But as you can see, the game is also divvied off into different sections. So with this run, I'm going to be focusing on the any percent part for caverns. Now, if you do a full game run, it will actually progress you through. You don't have to come back to the menu each time. But essentially, we did it this way so we could focus each section rather than trying to focus an entire game. People that want to try the entire game or are playing it casually will notice that actually once you start getting around Temple and onward, the game gets way more difficult. So this also is kind of one of those to help newer players kind of integrate into the speedruns without having to be like, oh my god, this game is hard, I can't beat the whole thing, this would take forever. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to be doing the any percent for caverns, so that will mean going through all 20 of these levels, which for those that don't know, the last level is actually a boss fight in each of them, and there is 20 in each section, so that's 100 levels. But we'll go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1, and go. And my timer is going to be a little bit off sync. It's just something with my capture card that I can't fix right yet. But I hope you guys could read fast, because that was the lore of the game. That's the only lore in the game that you're going to be getting. The main mechanic, as you saw there, was the dagger dashing. Basically, whenever you can chain those, that's what you're wanting to do, as well as obviously make the shortest path. There's not that much menuing with the game, but what menuing there is usually going through these level transitions. And a lot of that is just mash it out. Wow. And when you miss a cycle, it is really challenging. Now there is some IL strats. You won't be seeing any of that because really it's not gonna save you time. As you can see up there, there is an in-game timer. We use that for ILs, but we use RTA for the actual longer runs, simply because, unlike Celeste, this game doesn't have a timer where you can track the entire progress. I do want to point out that 1-7 skip there is actually something that I kind of half concocted, and then it got perfected after I showed it off. But that side wall hop is actually something that I don't think the developers intended you to do. And it's one of those that I don't think we actually get to see it in any more of Caverns. I think it actually doesn't come into play again until Forest. So that was our one little touch there. As you can see, this game is super fast paced, and if I really wanted to try to explain everything with each level, it would be kind of challenging because you're only in a level for a few seconds. All Fairies does have the advantage of adding a little bit of time, but it only adds a couple of seconds because most of the fairies are within the path. Case in point with 111, I actually skip one of the dagger upgrades, which is that hammer, and it can actually break certain blocks. Because I am doing any percent, I am gonna, if there's time, I'm gonna go ahead and try to show off a little out of bounds clip that we've found too. It's not useful in the any percent or fairy or all fairies run. And so long since I missed that. But it is a little out of bounds that actually comes in handy, not so much in forest, but more so in, oddly enough, castle, which is the last one. And I guess since I'm dying on this level, I'll go ahead and shout out these moving platforms. They're not that difficult until you're trying to go fast. The IL and actually the all fairies strat is waiting on the platforms. For 116 anyhow. There's that little wall side hop that the devs clearly were not intending because there were spikes there. There is a quicker strat for this room. I never do it because truthfully I've died too many times to this level. I more go for, I want to get out of it. I do want to mention, I know this is the any percent, but that fairy right there can really be a pain doing all fairies, as can the fairy that's actually coming up in this last one right here. Like I said, this game, once optimized, it can be really quick. I think actually there's a quicker time than what I'm going to be going for this IL alone. I more play it safe a lot of the times because this is one of the longest ones, and as you just saw, doing that is not fun. Also, say goodbye to music because weird glitch with the game where when you die on a boss, the music goes away. Ooh boy. And time. Yeah. Like I said, really short game. when it's done properly. And there's exactly what I was saying at the top of it about how that kind of transitions through each of them. But if there's enough time, I do want to kind of show off something. And it's pretty much just the out of bounds that I was talking about. It actually can be done in caverns. Okay, I'm just getting word that I can actually show it off. It can be done in caverns. And what it is it pertains not so much with these blocks, but so much with the fact that that's a one tile gap right there. Basically, if you cram your character into that one tile gap and mash the dagger dash button, you wind up out of bounds. It really doesn't do any good for this level because by the time you do that, even quick, it doesn't save any time, it actually costs you time. But this was the first level we actually found it in. And at first we thought it only had to deal with these hammer blocks. We found out later that that's not the case. It's any one tile block like that. But that was Daggerhood. I do recommend, if you don't have a Switch, go ahead and check it out. It's out on also Xbox One, I believe PS4, and I know it just recently had a release on both Android and iOS. I'm gonna say this much: if you get it on the mobile, you are gonna have a far easier time with the game. I have experience with both, and yeah, they did some weird optimizations with the mobile that kind of forced us to have to split that into its own set of categories too, because different things like certain spike layouts and walls are where they shouldn't have been, and just all kinds of things that it's like, I wish they'd update the base game to match, but oh well. But that is Daggerhood. If you're interested, we do have a Discord, so newer runners can jump in there and learn new strats and stuff, but I will go ahead and pass it, I believe it's back over to GamingLand to go ahead and do Wii Sports Resort. And all of you on the TGSN Twitch, we will be back later today. I will probably try to at some point come back with an Odyssey speedrun. I know Peace is coming back with Minecraft later, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And if in the event neither of those or both of those happen, we'll definitely see you tonight for some Fortnite action. Later.